Mr. Steve Brown, the man. Tell us about the Roundup.
Well, we started back in 2005, and 17th, 18th year, but it's the 32nd Renegade Woodcarvers Roundup that we're at now. We can only take 60, 65 students, and we will always sell out in March. There's one also the third week of October, and we're taking registration for that now. We have 5 instructors, and you get a new instructor each day. Instructors rotate, and we try to have some of the best nationally known caricature carvers.
And I can attest they have been fantastic.
Yes, most of them are.
Yeah, Gary Phelan that we had yesterday, and we had Mitchell Cartless today.
Yeah, Floyd Radigan.
Floyd Radigan and
Chris Hammock.
And we had, well, Kevin Applegate was walking around here earlier. But,
we've even got instructors taking classes. Roger Stegel,
that's right,
very well-known instructor.
Yeah,
he always loves to come and take classes from these guys.
So good wood carvers here, setting in the class for sure.
And if you're interested in the October Renegade, you can go to my website and download the registration and the brochure. It lists all the instructors that are going to be here in October. And it's sbrownwoodcarving.com. So check it out.
Yeah, and if you look on Mr. Steve's website, guys, it also gives the hotel information, and we also get a discount. So y'all check that out, and look forward to seeing you guys. And if you are lucky enough to get a part of this or be a part of this, you'll have a seat in the room with us. So you, Mr. Bob Soderholm, one of my idols. What you working on, Bob? Is this what you're working on here?
Yeah, I'm going to be working on Hog on a Hog today.
That is too cool.
Yep, with Rich Weatherby.
How long have you been coming to these wood carving roundups?
10 or 11 years. And
okay.
I come twice a year, March and October. So if you kind of look at it, that's, you know, it gives me at least 10 projects right there.
Yeah, you showed me the bookcase of carvings that you got at your house, so it's kind of piling up. I'm sure your wife loves that.
Well, as long as it's upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
In the closet in the vault.
No, I have a bonus room over a 2-car garage, and that's my space.
Gotcha.
So what I do is that's where I carve.
Okay.
And have a good time. Have guy Brent Seavey comes over on Tuesday mornings. He carves from 9:30 to 2:30 with me. And then at 6:30 at night, 2 more guys come over and we carve from 6:30 to 10 o'clock.
Long day. That's awesome. Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, explain if someone didn't know, if it was the first time here and they had to go, do their rough outs and whatnot, just show what you do to a rough out to get it carvable for basically cleaning it up.
The important thing with the rough out is that it's got everything but the detail. It's probably got it's like if someone took a pantyhose and put it over their face, then what would happen? What would happen then is they would, you couldn't see the features, but you could tell all the shapes. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to use a soft V. This is a Ortel by Denny, but you use a soft V. And what you do is you separate the masses. When you separate the arms, the legs, and the masses, and with the soft V, you're not going to make a sharp spot that you have to commit to.
Gotcha. Like it wouldn't be as bad if you were doing a stop cut with a knife, and it would be kind of permanent until you had to go way deeper.
You do it with the knife, and you're committed.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times I'll do the soft V, and I'll come back with the regular V tool, and then the difference of that bottom is kind of rounded, and the other one is sharp. But then when you make 2 knife cuts, what you got to do with the knife cut is you got to cut one deep, and then you do another one slightly shallower than that. By doing that, you make a nice clean cut. You don't leave any fuzzies. Well, once you make that knife cut, you're committed.
Gotcha.
You're committed. So,
Okay.
and that's good to do that, because the fact that when you do make that sharp cut, then what's happening is you're going to make those shadows in the piece.
Gotcha.
So that's
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that for us, and thanks for talking to us. It's a pleasure to been carving right beside you all week. So hopefully we'll do it next time.
Next time I'm down at Fred's in Rome, Georgia, I'll give you
go.
a haul and let you know we're carving.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Fred, if you're watching this, we'll be coming your way.
Well, this little guy, this hobo, what I wanted him to look like, you know, he's rough and been ran down quite a bit.
Right.
You know, traveling among the trains. So what I did, first did the BLO and let that sit for about an hour or 2. Sometimes I let it sit overnight, but a certain effect that I get is painting it while the oil is still fresh.
Okay.
And I like to lay a little bit heavier paint, a little bit more paint than the thin water paints like everybody and a lot of people like to use.
Yes.
And by doing that, I have better control of the paint while the oil is still fresh.
Okay. I remember us talking a little bit about that last night, but I had forgotten what you said.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it on videotape so I could remember.
So by doing that, then I go ahead and I paint the flesh. I like to start out with the flesh. That way, if it bleeds over any wood, then you've got darker colors to cover it up.
Okay.
Because flesh is pretty dominant. Then I do the whites, and then I save the eyes for last. And then after I get the paint applied to everything, while the paint is not extremely dry, but a little damp to the touch, but yet it don't smear or anything like that, I use this product called Waverly. It's a white, milky looking substance that it's a finish, a varnish, and it's matte. So it's Waverly's Varnish Matte.
Okay.
Or Folk Art, they have one, it's called Duraclear.
Okay.
And you want the matte finish in
Matte
that.
finish in it? Okay.
And to me, as opposed to using like polyurethane thing or that wax and feed.
Feed and wax,
Feed
yes,
and wax,
yes.
yeah. As opposed to using that
Okay.
as a finish, I like the matte Waverly because it gives it a texture like the cloth.
Yes.
It's not
I
shiny at all. I mean,
Yeah, it looks great.
I don't know if it'll show up in the video.
You know, do a kind of a profile if you don't mind turning in
Sure.
for me while I get him. Okay, is the man himself one piece? Then you mounted him on there.
Let's see. This arm is separate.
Arm is separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't want this. I wanted this to have a reaching effect, and so I carved it separate.
I got you.
If you look closely, you can barely see a seam right there.
Looks like cloth to me, and the way his jacket. So
Yeah.
you did an awesome job on that.
If you do it right, and you do add an arm, you can add it to where the seam line is just like it's in a jacket,
I got you.
and it kind of hides it. But yeah, it's the hat's separate. I carved the figure first and posted it, and it just looked like it needed something.
Yeah.
And I added the little derby later.
Okay.
And then once you do the seal of the Waverlys, it really adds that. And then you don't do anything else. So you make sure you've got all your highlights and any shading. I use a wash of black. Now I'll use a wash of black and paint and water and go into the crevices sometimes to get some shades,
Okay.
the shadow
Depth.
effect.
Okay.
And then on the barrel, I did a little BLO.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah. And then on the beard, I just use a midnight blue, watered down considerably, and give him that 5 o'clock shadow.
Gotcha.
And
That's awesome.
last but not least, once you do the eyes, now this is before you put wave release. Wave release is the last thing you want to do.
Last step.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can avoid the eyes. But anyway, I paint the eyes like off-white, like buttermilk or you know, a linen or something that's not pure white.
Okay.
And I put the pupil in. Then I do the wave release. Now, if you do get them in the eye, wave release in the eye, wait till it really dries good. Then you come back with triple thick.
Okay.
It's a real thick glaze, and put on the eyes, and it gives that sheen, you know, like a wet look.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Neil, very much for talking to us about your piece. That is down here. I don't know if that camera pick it up. Yeah, it will. That is awesome.
Some little rocks. And
Okay.
this barrel just paint, you know, just threw a bunch of paint on like an old stain barrel.
Okay. Now, how long you been coming to the Woodcarvers Roundup?
Since 2019.
2019.
October 2019 was my first visit.
Good deal. You recommend it to anyone and everyone that wants the
Anyone.
car?
You're here, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it works, don't it?
I'm very, very thankful I got to come.
It's amazing because it gives you tips that you never thought of.
That's very
if you're
true.
sitting there carving.
It's very true. I've learned things and seen things this week that I've never thought that was I just wouldn't think about doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I've seen your carvings, and what you had under your belt was really good.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You've got a good start
Thank
already.
you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning as much as I can and doing as much as I can while I'm doing it. So, well, thanks again, Neil. I appreciate
You
it,
bet,
man.
Jonathan. I
Thanks.
appreciate it.